This is Audible.
Podium Audio presents The Retired Assassin's Guide to Country Gardening, Book 1 of Retired Assassin's Guide, written by Naomi Kuttner, performed by Thomas Barker. Prologue. This is a story about murder, and the lengths people will go to secure what they believe is rightfully theirs. But it is also a story about a small New Zealand town by the sea, with its forests, rivers, and people who love gardening, gossiping, and good coffee. Lastly, it's a story about ghosts and how they are part of our world, visible only in rare circumstances and to unlikely people. Now all these elements have gathered to dance around a central point that could be a life, but is in this case a death. Chapter 1, in which we meet our unlikely heroes. Dante's watch buzzed against his wrist, notifying him that someone had entered his front yard. He tapped the screen and checked the hidden camera he'd mounted in the Victorian filigree above the porch. A young man was making his way up the garden path. Dante glared at the image on his watch. He'd come to this small coastal town on the assumption that everyone would leave him the hell alone, but he'd learned that was not to be. The villagers treated a foreigner moving into their digs like an invitation to be friendly. He'd had neighbours coming over with lamington cakes, people stopping him on the sidewalk to talk about the weather. One lady with a perm and leopard print leggings had even asked him to join her for a coffee at one of the village's 2 cafes. He hadn't known what to say. And now, someone was about to knock on his door. With a growl, he started tidying away the assembled glock he'd been cleaning. He wasn't going to allow anyone inside his house, but it paid never to leave things to chance. The doorbell rang. It was a real bell, its copper gone green with age, not the electronic simulated bell most houses had. Dante put the last piece of his sidearm in its padded metal box, closed it, and locked the lid. He checked the camera again. The young man didn't appear to be armed, but he made sure his favourite Luger was in its underarm holster, because old habits died hard, and Dante wanted to buck the statistic about people dying soon after retirement. He padded down the wide hallway, the golden timber floor smooth underneath his sock-clad feet. The front door was solid oak, painted a dark green, with a wavy glass panel showing an indistinct outline outside. Dante unlocked the door's original deadbolt. He then deactivated the second deadbolt he'd installed with a touch of his index finger and swung the door open. The fresh-faced young man standing on his porch looked surprised at the silent arrival of the house's owner. He was about 19 or 20, with curly brown hair just shy of being auburn. Hazel eyes with long lashes completed the image of country wholesomeness. He even had rosy cheeks, for God's sake. Hi. The young man gave Dante an uncertain smile. What do you want? Dante winced internally. He tried to remember what his therapist had told him about meeting people for the first time. Eye contact, but not too much. Relaxed stance. Smile on the inside. That will show up in your voice. That last one made no sense to Dante. He'd seen plenty of people's insides in his line of work, and not one internal smile. My name's Charlie. Charlie Wilson. The young man swallowed. Since Dante was 6'2" with a street fighter physique, hair cut military style, piercing grey eyes and scarred knuckles, he was used to people being nervous around him. Being nearly 40 had done nothing to mellow his features. All right, Charlie Wilson. Dante tried to smile on the inside. What do you want? Charlie swallowed, his Adam's apple jumping up and down. Mr. Reed... Call me Dante. Mr. Dante, my name's Charlie Wilson. You said that already. Mr. Dante, I'm here to do your garden. My what? Dante looked around the front yard of the 1920s villa he'd purchased 6 weeks ago, sight unseen. There were a lot of plants in it. Trees, too,